Good morning or afternoon or evening. It's a Christmas edition of Cybersecurity HQ. I'm Chase Cunningham, Dr. Cunningham, Dr. ZeroTrust, stupid guy with a Santa hat on. I mean, if you're going to have a little Christmas cheer, why not go all in? So I'm going to do a little bit longer version this time, and it's going to be kind of a review of 2023. Consider this your Christmas gift, knowledge. Knowledge is the gift that keeps on giving. What I've done is I've compiled a bunch of stats from a bunch of different sources. I would always encourage everyone to go off and get your own sources. Don't believe stuff just because some expert talks about it. Do your own research. But here's what I found that I think is worth knowing. Basically, things are not getting much better, to be perfectly frank, and that's problematic. So let's crawl through the big stats from the year here. Let's see. Trends and stats for this year, it's not looking good for the home team, to be perfectly frank. I'm trying to pull up some of the actual numbers here. So here's a poll I found from Deloitte. During the past 12 months, 34% of executives report their organization's accounting and financial data were targeted by cyber threat actors. Within that group, 22% experienced at least one such event, and 12.5% experienced basically more than one. Nearly half, 48.8% of C-suite executives expect the number and size of events targeting their organizations to increase in 2024. However, just 20% of that 48% say their organization's systems are secure and able to stand up to an attack. So not good. AI and ML obviously is a big thing. Let's be real, none of this stuff is AI yet. It's large language modeling, machine learning, but growing pretty substantially to CAGR of about 30%. Pretty big. AI and ML can be used to help if you're doing it correctly, but it's a ways off. Cybercrime is growing exponentially according to Cybersecurity Ventures. The cost of cybercrime is going to hit $8 trillion this year and will grow to 10.5 by the end of 2025. So that's a pretty big one. There's a report here from Entire, substantial. Open source vulnerabilities have been found in 84% of code bases. Let me say that again. Vulnerabilities, open source, in 84% of all code bases. This is from a report from Synopsys. Vulnerability data was included in their report, which is called Open Source Security and Risk Analysis, or the OSSRA. Open source was in nearly everything that was examined, and of that, most of it had vulnerabilities. Open source statistically makes up, and this is their statistics, 73% of total code. Good Lord, yeah. 91% of their scanned reports or repos said 91% contained outdated versions of open source software. Means that a patch was available but has never been applied. Yikes. Phishing continues to be the #1 method of hacking for 2023. Shocker. But we continue to dump so much money into phishing training. I wonder if there was a better way to do it. What could that possibly be? According to some research from Lookout, the highest rate of mobile phishing in history was this year, with about half of mobile phone owners worldwide being hit with a Vish, which is the SMS version, I guess. 210 million devices were looked at, 175 million applications, 4 million URLs. Non-email based phishing attacks are also growing, with phishing, vishing, smishing, SMS phishing, QR code or quishing, which sounds gross, increasing by 7-fold. Mostly it's Microsoft's brand name that's being included in phishing attack, with 30 million plus messages using its branding, or even mentioning OneDrive or Office. So, whoops. That's followed by Amazon, DocuSign, Google, DHL, and Adobe. So it's not getting better on the phishing side. Business email compromise is the #2 statistic problem that we have in the space, but those two are tied pretty much in lockstep. Some additional information that you should consider. There is an evolving geopolitical thing going on. If you're not familiar, the war in Russia and Ukraine is getting very hot cyber-wise. I think that it is showing that the value of a cyber warfare environment, honestly, there is an accelerating cyber arms race going on. If you've heard of Q Day, which is when quantum becomes, the thing, is not too far off, which could be a problem. Yeah. And then let's crawl through a couple more statistics here. So this is from Packet Labs. Their top security statistics of 2023 as of December. There are an estimated 800,000 cyber attacks this year. 97% of security breaches were via WordPress plugins. Every 39 seconds, a threat actor targets a business's infrastructure. Estimated 300,000 new malware variants are created daily. Now that's a variant, so that could be literally one line of code, but it's pretty substantial. 92% of malware is being delivered via email. Again, phishing training. In 2023, the average for identifying a cyber attack is about 49 days. So that's pretty good. It's down, but still. 4.1 million websites on the internet are actively serving up malware. Great. And 66% of CIOs interviewed for this research said they plan on increasing their investment in cybersecurity. So that's kind of good news. Let's see. So a couple more stats that are worth looking at here. 50 cybersecurity stats that you need to know. Let's see. So it's by type. The majority is phishing, like by a substantial amount. Phishing attack data. Let's see. The majority of things that are used are targeted in brand phishing. Microsoft. Looks like LinkedIn is a big one. FedEx, WhatsApp. I mean, I don't think anybody's not gotten one of these, but they're pretty much out there. And let's crawl through a couple more pieces. Where is this most prolific? The majority of ransomware attacks are launched from, guess what? Former Soviet Socialist Republic countries. So there you go. Wonder why. What organizations are most successfully targeted? Happens to be that the worst at the batting average for defending themselves are companies in Asia, followed by Europe, then North America, and then Middle East and Latin America, which probably is more probably more of a result of the fact that they're not targeted as much. There's an average of $787,661 lost every hour globally because of a data breach. Yeah, so I mean, the total, if you put all this down into one breakdown, right? I mean, the gift of knowledge says that it's not getting better necessarily. I think that what we can take away is that you're not seeing as many big organizations with big breaches, other than the folks that have ignored the advice and best practices that have been put in place. So they're moving down market is what the bad guys are doing, and down market typically is easier to go after, and they get more success. I mean, if you harden the top layer, they're going to find the other stuff, the low-hanging fruit, go through there. They're connected to big enterprise and go forward. I honestly can't think of a major enterprise or government organization that had a direct breach this year. It was all vendors, third parties, contractors, APIs, like stuff that's not necessarily them. So you can follow the trend and see where it's going. Anyway, I wish it was better news for the end of the year, but maybe 2024 will be the year that we turn stuff around. As always, Chase Cunningham for Cybersecurity HQ. Have a great Christmas and holiday, and I'm taking next week off, so I'll catch you folks in 2024.